So after that, I headed over to Rockefeller Center, which is a big cluster of buildings that were, I guess, built on behalf of the Rockefeller family. And some of the buildings that are there, a lot of are related to NBC. In particular, there's the Radio City Music Hall, which has a long history in the music business, and NBC had a lot of stuff going on in 30 Rockefeller Center, which is a very tall building. I think it used to be called the GE building, or maybe it still is called the GE building. But in that building, they have all sorts of stuff that's taped there, like well, Saturday Night Live is taped on one of the floors in that building, and also Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, and that's the show that Conan O'Brien did for many years, and also the show that was once David Letterman's show in that same building. So after looking at those buildings, I went kind of to the center of Rockefeller Center, like it was kind of a square kind of in the middle that has all of these big flags, and there's kind of like a restaurant or something, or a market or something in the middle, and there's all these different levels to it you can go to, and right in the middle you can look up and see all of the buildings of Rockefeller Center, and in one of the right near that area I saw a store that was a Lego store, a store that sells nothing but Lego, and it's made by the Lego company, and so I looked into the window first, and then I actually went inside and looked around, and it was pretty neat in there. They had all these big models of things that they had built. One of them was like a scale model of Rockefeller Center, the square that I just seen, just 5 minutes earlier. So it was neat seeing that constructed in Lego. And they also had this big statue thing that they had built in one of the corners, and it was really neat seeing that. It was like it had a big hollow section in the middle, but it was all held together with just regular Lego bricks, very simple Lego bricks that everyone's seen, not some specialized parts or anything. And the other neat thing in there was that they sold Lego by the volume. They obviously had kits and stuff that you could buy, like most people are used to for Lego. But they also had these huge bins that were just full of many of one specific type of piece. So if you wanted to build something specific without having to follow along with the instructions that come with the kit, you could go in there and you could shop around and get all of the parts you needed to build something, and then you could buy just those parts you needed, and you could make your own Lego model from scratch, basically, which is a pretty neat feature, and something that probably would have been neat when I was a kid to get to do something like that. So after Rockefeller Center, I went over to a place, I saw the outside of a pub that's called McGees Pub, and their claim to fame is that their bar was what MacLaren's Pub, a fictitious place in How I Met Your Mother, the TV series. So their bar, MacLaren's, was based on McGee's Pub. So there's a sign there that says the original MacLaren's Pub, and so I looked around on the outside. I didn't go inside. Beforehand, I looked at their website and I saw interior pictures, and it didn't really look all that much like MacLaren's from what I remember of it. But nonetheless, it was neat that that's what they were thinking about when they designed it. Right on that same block as McGee's, I went to have lunch at a place called the Original Soup Man, which has a lot of significance to fans of the show Seinfeld. There's an episode of Seinfeld called The Soup Nazi, and it's about this man that makes excellent soup that has a little soup stand just like the one that you see there, and he has all these rules about what the customers have to do when they're ordering their soup. And so the Original Soup Man, the place that I went to, is owned by the person that this Soup Nazi guy character is based on. So I mean, there's a big picture of him, and he looks just the same. And when they made that episode, or they thought of the idea for that episode, they had gone to this exact place. I think it may have moved, but it's exactly the same setup of a soup stand. So the soup that I ordered was a large lobster bisque, and there was two different sizes. You could take a small or a large, and I took the larger size, and it was $10 for that large, and that seemed pretty expensive. But how many times are you getting food from the Soup Nazi? So I went ahead and I got it, and I got a drink to go with it, and well, the soup was very, very good, and it was neat because they gave me all these little extras along with it that I didn't really expect. You know, the sign had no little fine print about everything includes something, but it just said, just said soup, one large soup, $10, right? And it didn't say anything else. But when I got my bag and I opened it up, inside there was a little slice of bread and some butter to go with it, and also there was a little Lindor chocolate that was kind of your dessert, I guess. And he also put in a plum into the bag, which I didn't expect that, but it was yummy. And as I said, the soup was very, very good. Definitely worth the price that I paid, especially with all those little extras that came with it. But it was interesting because I was going there, and obviously they made this based the Seinfeld character, because obviously this guy did have a lot of rules that you had to follow, and you broke the rules, you didn't get your soup, I guess. So I went in kind of expecting that to happen, and being worried that I might say the wrong thing and then I didn't get to have soup. But I really found that the staff that were working there now really didn't have that attitude at all. Actually, I ordered, so they had two people working. There was one person that was taking the orders, and one person that was making the bowls of soup and putting them in the bags and putting all the little goodies in and then giving them to the customer. So when I took the order, the lady took my order really quickly and she wrote it all down, and that was fine and good. But her partner, the one that actually prepared the soup, was like standing kind of at the back of the room, and he was on his cell phone and he was talking. So all these rules that they have are about making this soup getting experience really efficient, but I had to sit there and wait for this guy to get off the phone before I got to have my soup. So it was quite ironic. As I was waiting for him to get off the phone, there was another guy that was beside me who also ordered something. I didn't really listen to what he was ordering, but I was kind of I filmed the guy that was talking on the phone. Anyways, when he got off the phone, he came back, and I saw him. He looked at the receipts that the cashier had handed to him, and he started preparing the soup for me and the other person. And I saw him start to prepare mine, and he got a small bowl, and he started filling it with the lobster bisque, and I thought, uh-oh, he thinks I paid for a small, and he's only giving me a small, and I ordered a large. But I don't want to complain because he's going to say, no soup for you. But as it turned out, he was preparing the orders in the wrong order. The guy that was beside me also ordered the lobster bisque, and he ordered a small. So that's why there's the confusion there. And but it did make me worried a little bit, even though I could tell that the soup man wasn't exactly the same as the Soup Nazi, but the soup was very, very good. Anyways, after that, I went to the studio. I went just outside the building of where the Daily Show with Jon Steward is taped, and that was one of the. When I came here, I kind of wanted to get to see at least one of the many shows that are taped here. So my number one, obviously, was Letterman that I wanted to see, but I also looked into getting tickets for Jon Steward. And anyways, as I was there, I saw that they were taping today. They had a bouncer that was kind of outside, and he was talking to people and taking paper for them. And I assumed that they were guests that were getting ready for the show. And so I talked to him about there's any chance of a last minute standby, and he told me that he said all your tickets have to go through online and stuff. And I said, yeah, well, I tried that a few weeks ago, and every time I go to your website it says no tickets currently available, and then it offers you the option of giving your email address, and then it'll notify you when tickets are available. So I put my email address in like probably a month ago now, and have never received a single email from them. And so I have no idea how you get on that show, because he was saying that I asked him, is there anything like available today? And he said, oh yeah, there would be if you had gone on between 10 and noon today. And well, I don't know, who knows. But anyways, I got to see the outside of the theater anyways, and after that I went over to see the studio where the Colbert Report is filmed, and that was the studio where the Daily Show was originally taped, which is quite a bit smaller than the new Daily Show theater. It's kind of just tucked away in the middle of one of the streets, and I didn't really look at very much was going on when I went through there. They're probably not taping an episode today. So anyways, after that I went on and I saw Carnegie Hall,